Pensacola, Florida, is a seaside city known for its warm weather, sugar white beaches, and lively waterfront. But in September 2017, a dark cloud settled over the vacation destination when private investigator Taylor Wright mysteriously vanished. 33-year-old Taylor had moved to Pensacola that year, uprooting her life to pursue her dreams of becoming a PI. A motivated go-getter, Taylor had found early success in her new career. To her girlfriend, Cassandra Waller, it seemed the young driven woman had finally found her calling. No one could have predicted how quickly Taylor's aspirations would be cut short by jealousy, greed, and murder. Taylor Wright's path to private investigation had not been direct. In her early 20s, the blonde North Carolina native began working as a police officer for the Winston-Salem Police Department. She embraced the job with enthusiasm. Taylor loved helping people and bringing criminals to justice. Her fellow officers noted her sharp mind and skill at reading people, talents that helped her excel as an investigator. Taylor's personal life took a new direction when she became romantically involved with a young man named Jeff Wright. Their relationship progressed quickly, and they were soon married. The couple then welcomed a baby boy, but marital bliss soon soured. They separated, and divorce proceedings got underway. Amicable relations gave way to bitterness as the former couple fought over money, assets, and the custody of their son. Taylor felt uneasy about Jeff's temper and controlling behavior. She worried he might try to take her child away from her. After the divorce, Taylor realized she needed to change. The situation in North Carolina held too many painful memories. When a friend told her of promising PI job opportunities in Pensacola, Florida, Taylor decided to take a chance. She packed up and headed south for a fresh start. One day on a dating app, Taylor met a dark-haired woman named Cassandra Waller. There was an instant connection between the two. Before long, Taylor and Cassandra began living together in Pensacola. They became inseparable. As Taylor settled into life in Florida, however, the unfinished business of her divorce continued to loom. She was now battling in court with her ex-husband, Jeff Wright, who was persisting in his demands for money and custody rights. Matters escalated when Taylor stole $100,000 from a joint account that she was still sharing with Jeff. Alarmed that Taylor was trying to drain the account, Jeff decided he needed to act and took her to court. But Taylor didn't feel safe keeping the money in her own personal accounts. Instead, she divided the amount amongst her friends for safekeeping. At this point in time, Taylor gave a cashier's check of $34,000 to her best friend, Ashley MacArthur, a former crime scene technician, asking her to keep it secure. She promised to safeguard the money there until Taylor needed it. With the money safely stashed away, Taylor focused her energy on building a stable life in Florida. She dreamed of the day when she could reclaim the money and use it to finally buy her own place. But the clouds of the past would soon overshadow Taylor's sunny Florida future. On Friday, September 8th, 2017, Taylor went missing. That evening, Cassandra was overtaken by worry when Taylor did not respond to her usual evening text. Repeated calls to Taylor's phone only reached voicemail. Cassandra could feel in her bones that something was very wrong. It was Cassandra who alerted the police that Taylor had vanished without a trace. The couple had been texting normally until late morning. Then suddenly, all communication ceased. Around 8 p.m., a questionable text arrived on Cassandra's phone, purportedly from Taylor. The message claimed she needed time alone to sort out her life. Cassandra knew this was bizarre behavior for Taylor. As a dedicated mother, she always kept loved ones informed of her whereabouts. Alarmed and panicked, Cassandra implored the Pensacola Police Department to urgently search for the missing woman. On the day of her disappearance on September 8th, Taylor met with her best friend Ashley, who was believed to be the last person to see Taylor before she vanished. 10 agonizing days passed without any word from Taylor. As Taylor's loved ones mobilized search efforts on their own, the PPD continued to drag their feet. It was as if Taylor had simply vanished into thin air. Initially, Taylor's girlfriend Cassandra and Taylor's ex-husband Jeff were persons of interest. Cassandra explained that Taylor had cheated on her and Jeff was in an ongoing custody battle with Taylor over their son. However, both seemed to have solid alibis. Attention then turned to Ashley MacArthur.
So, Taylor, it seemed like she was getting paranoid. She was talking about how she felt like something just wasn't right with Ashley. She wasn't sure if Ash had her money or not. Because Taylor had been trying to get the money out of Ash's safety deposit box. Taylor said for like 4 or 5 days. And I was like, Taylor, she's probably been really busy. And she goes, no, Cass. She goes, like, I'm telling you, something just doesn't feel right.
It was revealed that Taylor had entrusted Ashley with some money to keep safe during her court proceedings with Jeff. However, text messages showed that the days leading up to her disappearance, Taylor had been trying to get that money back from Ashley and felt Ashley was acting suspiciously. On the day Taylor vanished, Ashley claims she finally met up with Taylor to return her money. Ashley says after she gave Taylor a duffel bag full of cash, the two went horseback riding at Ashley's family farm, later returned to Ashley's house. Then Taylor left in an Uber, and Ashley never saw her again. Further phone records revealed Ashley had been using Taylor's phone to send text messages to her girlfriend Cassandra, as a likely attempt to make it seem like Taylor was still alive and well. Cell tower pings also showed both Ashley and Taylor's phone in the area nearby Ashley's family farm the evening Taylor disappeared, despite Ashley initially denying she returned there with Taylor that night. In Ashley's police interviews, investigators thought she behaved strangely, talking about Taylor in the past tense, making jokes at her expense, and airing details about her troubled life. Although married, Ashley was having an affair with a man. During the investigation, Ashley's boyfriend revealed to police that Ashley lies a lot. Evidence later emerged showing Ashley had deposited $34,000 of Taylor's money into her own personal account, leading police to suspect the motive was financial. Further doubts emerged around Ashley's story of their activities the day Taylor vanished, when phone records indicated Taylor's phone pinged a cell phone tower near a wedding Ashley attended in Alabama the day after Taylor disappeared. This meant she likely wasn't horseback riding with Taylor, as she claimed. Suspicion heightened after authorities learned Ashley's phone was used in the same place to text Cassandra, pretending to be Taylor the night she had disappeared. Finally, cell phone records showed that despite Ashley claiming she hadn't returned to the family farm after their initial visit, Taylor's phone pinged a tower near the farm the evening of her disappearance, suggesting both women were there. When confronted on this, Ashley eventually caved and admitted she and Taylor did visit the farm that night, claiming Taylor had stored belongings there she wanted to retrieve. A search warrant of the property turned up Taylor Wright's remains, a skull with a bullet hole, buried in a shallow grave at a farmland that was surprisingly owned by Ashley's family. This gruesome find, on land owned by Ashley's family, was essentially the smoking gun. Up until they uncovered Taylor's body, Ashley could still try claiming Taylor voluntarily disappeared. But now authorities had recovered Taylor's remains from where phone records had placed Ashley. Ashley MacArthur was arrested and charged with first-degree premeditated murder. There was also security footage from Home Depot showing Ashley buying the same concrete and potting soil materials used to bury Taylor's body on the farm property. This happened the day after Taylor vanished. While no DNA evidence or murder weapon conclusively tied Ashley to Taylor's death, prosecutors built a convincing circumstantial case centering around Ashley's financial motive, history of lies, the fact the phone evidence contradicted her account of events, and incriminating statements she allegedly made to others. In 2019, Ashley MacArthur stood trial. The prosecution argued Ashley killed Taylor over the money and had used her expertise as a crime scene tech to try to get away with murder. The defense countered that the state had no hard evidence proving Ashley harmed Taylor. Ultimately, the jury found Ashley guilty after deliberating for just over 2 hours. She was sentenced to life in prison with a mandatory minimum of 25 years. It was a tragic case of a woman betrayed and killed by a close friend, who prosecutors say tried to create the perfect murder. For Cassandra Waller and Taylor's loved ones, the conviction brought the first sense of justice and closure, but it could not undo the profound loss and pain left by Taylor's senseless murder. Taylor's family spoke of her kind heart, fearless spirit, and dedication to helping others. Though her ambitious life was cut short, she lived more boldly in her 33 years than most do in a lifetime. Her loved ones chose not to focus on how she died, but on how she lived with compassion, courage, and boundless joy. Taylor Wright's radiant soul can never be extinguished. Through the lives she touched and changed for the better, her memory will continue shining bright